You stir a golden spoon into your morning tea, maybe blend it into your smoothie or dust it gently over your oatmeal. Turmeric, the beloved super spice we've all been told is the secret to fighting inflammation, easing joint pain, and keeping our minds sharp as we age. It's in your kitchen, maybe in your supplement drawer, maybe even in that fancy latte from your favorite health cafe. But what if I told you that one small mistake, one thing you're pairing with it, maybe every day, is quietly cancelling out those benefits? What if I told you that your morning ritual, the one meant to protect your joints or soothe your digestion, could actually be making things harder on your body without you even realizing it? Now stay with me, because this isn't a scare tactic. This is a gentle truth that most people over 50 simply haven't heard, because no one really teaches us how food interacts in the body, especially not in the combinations we use daily. But I'm here to change that. You're watching Age Defiant Health, where we don't chase gimmicks or miracle cures. We take small, steady steps to make aging stronger, calmer, and wiser. And today, we're diving into the surprising food combinations that could be weakening turmeric's healing power in your body, and what to do instead. Now, if you've added turmeric into your routine, first of all, bravo. You're already ahead of the curve. That means you care about your body, you're listening to its signals, and you're doing something proactive. But even smart choices can be undone if they're paired with the wrong things. And most people aren't being told this. That's why today's topic matters, because it's not about doing more, it's about doing it better. Just a few simple swaps, a little timing adjustment, and the turmeric you're already using can go from a whisper to a roar inside your body, easing stiffness, calming inflammation, and boosting your energy in real, tangible ways. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right but still not feeling the difference? You add the supplements, eat the greens, drink the tea, and yet your knees still ache going upstairs or your hands still feel stiff in the morning. That disconnect is frustrating, and it's one I hear about all the time from people just like you. But often it's not about what you're missing, it's about what you're mixing. There are certain foods, common, everyday items in almost every kitchen, that when combined with turmeric can block the very healing compounds you're trying to absorb. These aren't rare foods. These are things like a flavored yogurt at breakfast, a tangy dressing on your salad, or a quick muffin on the go. They seem innocent, but their chemistry doesn't play well with curcumin, the active compound in turmeric. And that means the turmeric you're counting on to help your joints, your memory, or your digestion might not be reaching your cells at all. And I'll show you how to fix that today. I'll walk you through the 3 common food mistakes that most people don't even realize they're making with turmeric, and I'll give you 3 powerful pairings that unlock its full strength. Think of it like giving your body the right keys to open the right doors. You already have the treasure, you just need the map. And before we go further, if this is the kind of information you've been looking for, the kind that feels practical, doable, and grounded in both science and kindness, I'd love to ask for your help. If this content resonates with you, please tap that like button, share this with a friend who also cares about their health, and subscribe to this channel, Age Defiant Health. I'm working toward my first 1,000 subscribers, and with your help, I can continue to bring quality, trustworthy content that helps all of us move through this chapter of life with more ease, confidence, and joy. Your support doesn't just help me, it helps someone out there who needs this message but hasn't heard it yet. So thank you truly for being part of this circle. Now take a breath, get comfortable. Maybe grab that warm cup of tea without the processed creamer, and let's gently uncover the truth behind turmeric so it can finally work for you the way nature intended. Because when you learn how to combine it wisely, turmeric isn't just a trend. It becomes a tool, one that strengthens your body, protects your mind, and carries you forward with strength you didn't even know you still had. Why turmeric became a superstar? Turmeric didn't become a superstar in the health world overnight. It's been used for thousands of years in traditional medicine systems like Ayurveda and Chinese medicine. But only in the last few decades has modern science started catching up to what ancient healers instinctively understood, that this humble golden root carries profound healing potential. For adults over 50, the reasons for turmeric's rising fame are especially relevant because its benefits align precisely with the natural shifts and challenges that come with aging. As we age, the body undergoes predictable but impactful changes. Inflammation becomes more common and persistent, joints start to stiffen or ache, brain fog creeps in, and memory may not feel as sharp. Recovery from physical activity slows, and the gut doesn't always process food with the same efficiency. These aren't signs of failure, they're signs of biology in transition. But what if one daily habit could speak to all of those systems at once, calming inflammation, easing pain, sharpening mental clarity, and gently supporting digestion? That's exactly what turmeric has come to represent, and why it has earned its place in spice racks, supplement shelves, and golden milk mugs across the world. At the heart of turmeric's healing potential lies curcumin, the primary active compound that gives turmeric its vibrant yellow color and its potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. Curcumin is like the engine inside the turmeric root. It's what powers the results people are looking for. The science behind it is compelling. Curcumin has been shown to block inflammatory pathways in the body, the same ones involved in arthritis, cardiovascular disease, and even Alzheimer's. It helps reduce oxidative stress by neutralizing free radicals, those unstable molecules that damage cells and accelerate aging. It supports the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, which is essential for memory and cognitive resilience. It can even help regulate blood sugar and cholesterol, offering broad-spectrum benefits that touch nearly every system in the aging body. That's why it's being studied for everything from joint health to heart disease prevention to dementia. And unlike many pharmaceuticals, turmeric doesn't just treat one symptom, it supports the whole system, gently and naturally. This is especially meaningful for older adults who may already be navigating multiple medications, sensitivities, or health concerns. The appeal of turmeric lies in its simplicity. It's a single, natural ingredient that can be brewed into a tea, blended into a smoothie, sprinkled into a soup, or taken in capsule form. No complicated regimens, no harsh side effects. Just a daily act of nourishment that aligns with the body's innate desire to heal and balance itself. But, and this is the key part, turmeric only works if your body can absorb it. And here's where the story gets more nuanced, more personal, and frankly more frustrating for many people. Because the reality is that curcumin, despite its potency, has very poor bioavailability on its own. That means your body struggles to absorb it effectively unless the conditions are just right. In fact, studies suggest that without the proper pairing or preparation, the vast majority of curcumin you consume may pass through your digestive system without ever reaching your bloodstream. It's like having a golden key but no lock to fit it into. This is where food pairing comes into the spotlight. The same way your body needs vitamin D to absorb calcium, curcumin needs certain allies to be properly taken in and utilized. And equally important, there are certain ingredients that can block its absorption entirely or even turn it into something that irritates the gut rather than heals it. This isn't about scare tactics, it's about precision. Turmeric is powerful, but it's delicate, and the choices we make around how we consume it determine whether it becomes a healing agent or a wasted effort. The tragedy is that many people are doing the right thing, adding turmeric to their routines with genuine hope, but not seeing results because of simple, fixable mistakes. They're pairing it with processed dairy, sugary foods, or vinegar-based condiments that interfere with absorption and trigger digestive issues. Or they're taking it without the healthy fats and compounds that help unlock its potential. Understanding this doesn't require a degree in nutrition or biochemistry. It just requires a willingness to pay attention to how ingredients work together. It's about realizing that health isn't just about what we eat. It's about how and when and with what we eat it. And this is especially critical for those over 50, when the digestive system naturally becomes less efficient, enzyme production slows, and nutrient absorption isn't as robust as it once was. That means we can't afford to eat thoughtlessly. We have to become curators of our own healing, crafting combinations that work in harmony rather than opposition. That's the opportunity turmeric presents. It's not just a spice. It's a catalyst, a reminder that nature provides extraordinary tools when we use them with care. But let's not forget the emotional component here. When you reach for turmeric, you're not just adding a health booster to your diet. You're making a quiet promise to your body. You're saying, I want to feel better. I want to move with less pain. I want to stay sharp and steady and strong. That intention deserves to be honored with information that helps it succeed. Otherwise, we risk turning turmeric into another failed trend, another item we try, don't feel, and quietly abandon. And that would be a shame, because when used correctly, turmeric can be life-changing. Not overnight, not with miracles, but with slow, consistent support that builds over time. It can be the difference between needing help to stand up and rising on your own. Between forgetting the name of a grandchild and remembering every story. Between waking up groggy and waking up energized. And that's why we're talking about it today. Not to hype another supplement, but to teach you how to make the most of something you may already have in your kitchen. Because your health deserves more than hype. It deserves wisdom, clarity, and the gentle power of nature working with you, not against you. And so we arrive at the heart of today's message. All the benefits in the world won't matter if you can't absorb them. Turmeric can only help you if you help it do its job. And that's where the common food mistakes begin. Simple, everyday habits that might be interfering with your body's ability to use turmeric properly. But the good news, these habits are easy to spot and even easier to fix. You don't have to change your whole diet or give up your favorite meals. You just need to understand a few key pairings, what to avoid, what to include, and how to create a daily turmeric ritual that actually works. That's what we're diving into next, because your body is still listening, your cells are still responding, and your health journey is far from over. It's just entering a wiser, more intentional chapter. The 3 common food mistakes. Number 1, processed dairy, the silent saboteur. Let's talk about something that quietly slips into your daily routine. Something that feels comforting, familiar, even nourishing at times, but may be quietly undoing one of the smartest health choices you've made. Incorporating turmeric into your day, that something is processed dairy. Now, before you push back thinking, but I only use a little creamer in my coffee, or it's just one slice of cheese with breakfast, I want to invite you to look deeper, not at how much, but at what kind of dairy we're talking about and what it's doing once it's inside your body, especially when combined with turmeric. The issue isn't dairy in its pure, whole, unprocessed form. The real culprit is the industrial, ultra-processed versions of dairy that line the shelves of most supermarkets and sneak into so many American kitchens. Pre-sliced American cheese, powdered coffee creamers, flavored yogurts, shelf-stable cheese spreads, and shredded cheeses with anti-caking agents. These products are not the dairy your grandparents drank from a glass bottle. They're chemically altered foods designed for convenience, long shelf life, and exaggerated flavor. And while they may be easy to add to your eggs, coffee, or snacks, they pose a very real problem for anyone relying on turmeric for its healing benefits. Here's why. Turmeric's active compound, curcumin, is notoriously hard for the body to absorb. It needs the right conditions to be fully utilized by your cells. That means pairing it with supporting elements like healthy fats or piperine from black pepper. But when turmeric enters your digestive system alongside processed dairy, that absorption process is disrupted. Why? Because processed dairy contains more than just milk. It's filled with emulsifiers, gums, preservatives, stabilizers, synthetic vitamins, and added sugars, all of which make the digestive process harder, slower, and more confused. For aging adults whose digestive enzymes have naturally declined and whose gut lining may already be more sensitive, this cocktail of chemicals creates a digestive burden. Instead of being absorbed and distributed to reduce inflammation or protect your memory, the curcumin ends up passing through unutilized, or worse, it interacts with those additives and becomes an irritant, triggering bloating, gas, or acid reflux. And it's not just the additives. The proteins in processed dairy, especially casein, can bind to curcumin in a way that makes it less bioavailable. Think of it like putting turmeric in a cage. The curcumin is still there, but your body can't get to it. This isn't speculation, it's supported by biochemical studies. When curcumin molecules bond with certain proteins, their bioavailability drops sharply, meaning they don't make it into your bloodstream where they're needed most. So if you're stirring turmeric into your scrambled eggs and topping it with a slice of processed cheese, or blending turmeric powder into your coffee with a spoonful of powdered creamer, you're unintentionally sabotaging the very anti-inflammatory action you're seeking. Now let's bring this into real life. Picture a morning scene. You're doing all the right things. You've started your day with intention. You add turmeric to your eggs, maybe a sprinkle on top of your avocado toast, and finish it off with a golden turmeric latte. But your coffee includes a dairy-based creamer that's shelf-stable and loaded with artificial vanilla flavors, corn syrup solids, and hydrogenated oils. Your eggs are topped with American cheese slices, which contain milk protein concentrate, food colorings, and sodium citrate. And your yogurt on the side, berry-flavored, boasts 18 grams of added sugar and stabilizers to hold its shape. On the surface, it looks like a health-conscious breakfast, but inside your body, it's a battlefield. Your digestive system is working overtime to break down the chemicals. Your gut is inflamed by the additives. The curcumin, it's getting bound, diluted, flushed out. And the result is that the inflammation in your joints persists, the stiffness in your hands remains, the brain fog lingers. You might chalk it up to age, but it's not just age, it's the combination. This is particularly important because aging already brings challenges to digestion. As you get older, stomach acid levels drop, enzyme production slows, and the gut microbiome becomes more fragile. That means your system can't afford unnecessary obstacles. Every bite, every sip matters. So why clog up the healing path with substances that have no nutritional value and interfere with one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory tools we have? It's not about being perfect, it's about being aware. That awareness gives you choices. And here's the good news, you don't have to give up creamy textures or comforting breakfasts. You just have to make a small shift toward alternatives that support turmeric's mission instead of blocking it. Plant-based milks are the easiest place to start. Unsweetened almond milk, oat milk, and coconut milk are not only gentler on the digestive system, but they also pair beautifully with turmeric. Almond milk has a neutral flavor and works well in golden milk lattes. Oat milk has a naturally creamy texture and contains beta-glucans that support heart health. Coconut milk is rich in healthy fats that actually enhance the absorption of curcumin, making it a perfect vehicle for turmeric's benefits. None of these options contain the dairy proteins or the synthetic additives that get in the way. If you love yogurt, go for unsweetened coconut yogurt or almond-based options. Add your own fresh fruit and a drizzle of raw honey instead of relying on pre-flavored high-sugar varieties. If cheese is a staple, consider aged, unprocessed varieties in moderation or opt for nutritional yeast, which delivers a cheesy flavor without the dairy. The goal here isn't to deprive, it's to support. When you pair turmeric with ingredients that let it do its job, your body responds. You may feel less bloated after meals. You might notice less joint stiffness in the mornings. You might even find your digestion smoothing out and your energy climbing in a way you haven't felt in years. These aren't coincidences, they're chemistry working in your favor. Processed dairy is sneaky because it's everywhere and it wears the mask of normalcy. But once you understand how it interacts with curcumin, you can make different choices. You're not just swapping milk, you're removing barriers. You're opening a direct path between a powerful plant compound and the cells that are waiting to receive it. That's not hype. That's how healing works when you stop getting in its way. So the next time you reach for that turmeric, whether it's in your tea, your smoothie, or your cooking, ask yourself what else is going into that moment. Is it a partner or a blocker? Is it helping your body absorb and thrive, or is it holding the door shut? It doesn't take much to shift the answer, and that small shift can open the door to better digestion, clearer thinking, and the kind of mobility and vitality that makes you feel younger than the number on your ID. Number 2, vinegar-heavy foods, the acidic disruptor. If processed dairy is the silent saboteur of turmeric's healing power, then vinegar-heavy foods are its acidic disruptors, harmless-looking but chemically volatile in a way that older digestive systems don't easily forgive. At a glance, these foods seem like innocent additions to your plate: a tangy vinaigrette drizzled on a crisp salad, a few pickles stacked on a turkey sandwich, a squirt of mustard on a grilled chicken wrap. But the truth is, when it comes to turmeric, and more specifically, the delicate bioactive compound curcumin, these acidic condiments can be quietly dismantling the very benefits you're hoping to gain. Turmeric doesn't ask for much to do its job well. It just needs a stable environment to survive digestion, pass into the bloodstream, and reach the tissues where it can reduce inflammation, support the brain, and balance the immune system. But when it enters a digestive tract saturated with vinegar and other high-acid ingredients, the curcumin becomes unstable, and that instability changes everything. You might be taking the right supplement, sipping the right tea, or seasoning your meals with good intentions. But if those meals also include acidic dressings, brines, or pickled sides, the healing potential of turmeric is weakened before it ever gets a chance to begin. Let's unpack the science gently. Curcumin is a phenolic compound, which means it reacts sensitively to its environment. It thrives in fat-rich, mildly alkaline or neutral conditions. But when exposed to high levels of acid, like those found in white vinegar, apple cider vinegar, and many processed condiments, curcumin begins to degrade. Its molecular structure breaks down and its potency diminishes. This isn't theoretical, it's chemical. And it's especially relevant for those over 50 whose digestive systems are already navigating lower levels of stomach acid, slower enzyme activity, and more delicate gut linings. Add a layer of dietary acid on top of that, and you create a digestive landscape that's not only hostile to curcumin, but also more prone to irritation, bloating, and reflux. This is why some people who add turmeric to acidic foods don't feel better, they actually feel worse. They blame the turmeric, but it's the company it's keeping that's causing the problem. Take the classic lunch salad. You load it with greens, maybe some roasted veggies, a sprinkle of seeds, and a dash of turmeric in the dressing because you read that it helps with inflammation. That sounds ideal. But if that dressing is a store-bought vinaigrette made with distilled vinegar, citric acid, and preservatives, you're effectively throwing a bucket of water on a spark of fire. The curcumin can't hold up in that acidic bath. Instead of helping your joints, it's getting dissolved and discarded. Or picture a hearty dinner bowl: quinoa, grilled chicken, steamed broccoli, and a turmeric tahini drizzle. Again, great start. But if you added a side of coleslaw made with apple cider vinegar, mustard, and sugar, or you topped the bowl with pickled onions for extra flavor, that same issue arises. The turmeric is in the mix, but it's fighting against a tide of acid, and most of it won't make it through to help your cells. Now here's where things get more frustrating. Many health-conscious eaters use apple cider vinegar specifically because it's marketed as a wellness elixir. And in some contexts, it can be helpful. It may aid blood sugar regulation and support certain microbial balances in the gut, but it's all about timing and pairing. Drinking apple cider vinegar in water first thing in the morning is very different from mixing turmeric with a vinegar-based dressing in the same dish. When acidic foods are consumed alongside turmeric, the absorption rate of curcumin drops significantly. Not only does it destabilize chemically, but for individuals with acid reflux, gastritis, or IBS, a group that increases in number with age, the combination of turmeric and dietary acid can also trigger unwanted symptoms. Instead of soothing inflammation, you may be worsening it, especially in the digestive tract. So how do you navigate this without giving up all your favorite meals or flavors? The solution isn't to eliminate acidity altogether. It's to become strategic about it. And that begins with small swaps that preserve turmeric's potency and still satisfy your palate. Let's go back to that salad example. Instead of reaching for a vinegar-heavy store-bought dressing, make your own with extra virgin olive oil, a squeeze of fresh lemon juice in moderation, a tiny pinch of sea salt, black pepper, and a dusting of turmeric. Olive oil adds the fat curcumin needs to be absorbed. Black pepper provides piperine, which boosts bioavailability by up to 2,000%. Lemon, though acidic, is far less aggressive than vinegar and is buffered when blended with oil. The result is a dressing that actually enhances turmeric's effect, rather than cancelling it out. Or take the turmeric tea many older adults enjoy before bed or first thing in the morning. Instead of combining it with lemon juice and honey alone, add a teaspoon of coconut oil or MCT oil and a tiny pinch of pepper. You'll create what's often called a golden latte without the dairy, without the vinegar, and with all the right absorption allies. If you love tangy flavors, enjoy them. Just separate them from your turmeric intake. If you're eating pickles, slaws, or vinegary condiments, try to have them during meals that don't include turmeric. Give your body time and space between acidic foods and curcumin-rich meals. Even just a few hours can make a significant difference in how well turmeric is absorbed and used. There's also something to be said about mindfulness in meal planning. Too often, we combine ingredients based on habit, not understanding. But the body notices, the body responds. And when you take the time to pair foods in a way that supports, not sabotages, your goals, the results often surprise you. Less bloating, more joint mobility, clearer thoughts, better sleep, these are not exaggerations. They are outcomes reported by countless individuals who have refined how they use turmeric in daily life. And most of the time, those refinements start with noticing what else is on the plate. What flavors are you combining? What are you adding out of tradition, not intention? And how could a small adjustment unlock a big shift? This conversation isn't about fear, it's about freedom. When you understand how curcumin behaves in your digestive environment, you're no longer blindly following trends. You're making informed choices. You're choosing partners, not just ingredients. And that empowers you to use turmeric as the healing agent it was meant to be. You don't have to toss your favorite condiments. Just learn when to use them and when to pause. Vinegar-based foods aren't the villain. They're just not the friend turmeric needs at the table. So next time you prepare that vibrant yellow spice, give it the right companions. Think of turmeric as a guest of honor. Keep the table welcoming, supportive, and free of acidic distractions. In doing so, you honor not only the science, but also your own body's deep desire to heal, absorb, and function at its best.
Number 3, sugary cereals and pastries, the inflammation conflict. There's something almost sacred about a warm muffin on a quiet morning or the nostalgic crunch of your favorite cereal poured into a bowl with a splash of milk. These moments feel innocent, even comforting. For many of us over 50, these routines are stitched into the fabric of daily life, tied to decades of family breakfasts, holiday traditions, or simple self-soothing rituals. And in recent years, as the wellness movement has gained momentum, many of these once indulgent foods have been repackaged with a health halo. Turmeric muffins, golden milk granola bars, smoothies dusted with turmeric powder but blended with fruit juices, frozen yogurt, and agave syrup. The packaging promises anti-inflammatory benefits, brain boosts, and longevity. But what many don't realize is that the pairing of turmeric with high-sugar foods is a fundamental contradiction. It's a biochemical tug-of-war, and your body is caught in the middle. To understand why, you need to look at what sugar actually does inside the body, especially as we age. Refined sugar, particularly from processed foods like boxed cereals, store-bought muffins, pastries, and sweetened breakfast bars, is one of the most inflammatory substances in the modern diet. It raises blood glucose rapidly, spikes insulin levels, and triggers a cascade of inflammation that can affect everything from your joints to your gut to your cognitive clarity. High sugar intake has been directly linked to increased markers of systemic inflammation. C-reactive protein, interleukin-6, and tumor necrosis factor, all of which are elevated in conditions like arthritis, cardiovascular disease, and neurodegenerative disorders. And here's where the conflict with turmeric arises. Turmeric's active compound, curcumin, is renowned for doing the exact opposite. It calms inflammation, protects against oxidative stress, stabilizes blood sugar, and supports the brain's natural detox and repair systems. So when you consume both sugar and turmeric at the same time, say in a turmeric scone or a golden honey cereal, the body receives two contradictory messages. One says reduce inflammation. The other says amplify it. The result? The turmeric's effect is muted, overshadowed by the surge of metabolic chaos caused by the sugar. This is more than just a missed opportunity. It's a misalignment that undermines your efforts to heal. Think of it like trying to put out a fire while pouring gasoline on the other side of the house. Your intentions are good, your tools are powerful, but the conflict makes them cancel each other out. And for older adults, who are already more vulnerable to the impacts of both inflammation and insulin resistance, this combination can be especially problematic. Many people over 50 begin using turmeric to address chronic joint pain, digestive irregularity, or memory lapses, symptoms that are often fueled by inflammation. But if turmeric is taken in the context of a high-sugar meal, it may never get the chance to reach the tissues that need it. Instead, it's absorbed alongside glucose spikes, digestive stress, and inflammatory noise. Let's break this down with a common scenario. You wake up and decide to start your day with a turmeric-infused granola bar and a fruit smoothie. You think you're doing something good, getting antioxidants, reducing inflammation. But the granola bar contains cane sugar, honey, and oat syrup solids. The smoothie is made with sweetened almond milk, banana, dates, and frozen mango. It tastes great, it sounds healthy, but your bloodstream is experiencing a sharp rise in glucose, your pancreas is pumping out insulin, and your liver is working overtime to manage the sugar load. Meanwhile, the turmeric is present, but its calming voice is drowned out in the chemical noise. You may feel energetic for an hour, but by mid-morning, you crash. You reach for coffee, maybe another snack, and the pattern repeats. Days later, you wonder why your turmeric supplement isn't working, why your joints still ache, why your memory still feels foggy. The problem isn't the turmeric, it's what you're pairing it with. This is not about demonizing sweetness or banning baked goods. It's about choosing better forms of sweetness that align with your goals instead of sabotaging them. If you want turmeric to work for you, you have to set the table with ingredients that support its purpose. That starts with unprocessed, whole food-based alternatives that provide fiber, healthy fats, and gentle carbohydrates. Nutrients that support absorption and reduce inflammation rather than adding to it. Instead of sugary cereal, consider a bowl of steel-cut oats cooked with almond milk, stirred with turmeric, cinnamon, and a spoonful of ground flax. Top it with blueberries or sliced banana, whole fruits that bring fiber, antioxidants, and a slow, steady glucose release. Want crunch? Add a few walnuts or pumpkin seeds. Want sweetness? A drizzle of raw honey or a few raisins provide natural sugars with nutritional value. If you love toast, skip the white bread and reach for sprouted or whole grain options. Spread almond butter or tahini, sprinkle turmeric and black pepper, and layer it with apple slices or crushed raspberries. This combination provides protein, healthy fat, and complex carbs, all of which help your body absorb curcumin and keep blood sugar steady. Smoothies can also be transformed. Use unsweetened nut milk, frozen avocado, berries, spinach, turmeric, a dash of cinnamon, and a pinch of black pepper. Add a tablespoon of chia seeds or hemp hearts. These additions stabilize the drink, support digestion, and deliver fat-soluble support for turmeric absorption. And perhaps most importantly, they keep sugar in check. They quiet the fire so turmeric can do its job. Now, if you still want a treat, a muffin, a pancake, a cookie, there are ways to enjoy them without disrupting your body's inflammatory balance. Use almond flour or oat flour. Sweeten with mashed banana, unsweetened applesauce, or just a touch of maple syrup. Add turmeric, cinnamon, and ginger for flavor and anti-inflammatory synergy. Bake in small batches. Enjoy slowly. Let the treat feel like what it is, a mindful indulgence, not a metabolic assault. And if you're buying products off the shelf that claim to be turmeric-enhanced, read the label carefully. Look at the sugar content. Check the ingredients for syrups, concentrates, and refined flours. Don't let golden packaging fool you into thinking you're making a healing choice. This conversation is about respect, respecting the body, respecting the chemistry of healing, and respecting the power of small daily habits. Turmeric isn't magic, but it is potent. And when you create the right environment for it to thrive, the results are measurable. You might feel less swelling in your joints. You might move through your day with more ease. You might sleep deeper, think clearer, and digest more smoothly. But those benefits can only emerge when you're not simultaneously asking your body to fight the fire you're fueling. That's the conflict. And that's what we can choose to change. The sweetness of life doesn't have to come from sugar. It can come from the relief of feeling good in your body, from the steadiness of mornings without pain, from the clarity of a day that doesn't begin with a crash. These are the subtle victories that turmeric can support if we give it the space, the silence, and the supportive ingredients it needs. And as you move forward, think not just about what you're adding to your diet, but how you're combining it. Because in the end, health is harmony. And turmeric, when used wisely, plays a beautiful part in that song. 3 food allies that supercharge turmeric. If turmeric is the golden key to aging gracefully, its power lies not just in its presence, but in how it's partnered. You can add turmeric to every meal, take the most expensive supplement, even drink it straight in golden milk. But unless you're pairing it with the right allies, the curcumin, the very compound responsible for all its celebrated benefits, may never fully make it into your bloodstream. This isn't marketing, it's biology. And for adults over 50, whose bodies are working harder to absorb nutrients and process inflammation, this knowledge isn't just helpful, it's essential. Because when you do pair turmeric with the right foods, the results aren't just theoretical. They're felt, they're seen, they're real. Let's begin with the most humble and overlooked partner of all, black pepper. It's so common it barely registers as medicine, and yet it may be the single most powerful companion turmeric could ask for. The magic lies in a compound called piperine, found naturally in black pepper. Piperine dramatically increases the bioavailability of curcumin by up to 2,000%. Yes, 20 times more. Without it, your body might absorb only a trace of the turmeric you take. But with just a small pinch of pepper, you open the floodgates. You help curcumin pass through the intestinal wall, survive liver metabolism, and enter the bloodstream where it can reduce inflammation, support cognitive function, and soothe joints from the inside out. The science is compelling, but the simplicity is even more striking. You don't need fancy formulas or expensive pepper extracts. Just freshly ground black pepper, the kind that comes from whole peppercorns, not the powdered kind that's been sitting on a supermarket shelf for years losing potency. Fresh pepper contains more active piperine, and just a pinch is enough to do the job. Stir it into turmeric tea, sprinkle it on scrambled eggs with a dusting of turmeric, add it to soups, stews, or salad dressings where turmeric is used. It doesn't overpower the flavor, it barely even registers. But the impact on absorption is profound. Think of it like this: turmeric is the message, black pepper is the microphone. Without the microphone, your message is whispered. With it, it's amplified. And for older adults trying to calm inflammation, sharpen memory, or improve mobility, that amplification is everything. But pepper is only one part of the equation. To truly deliver curcumin into the cells where it can do its healing work, it also needs a carrier, a vehicle that can help it travel through the digestive system and into the bloodstream. That vehicle is fat. Curcumin is fat-soluble, which means it dissolves and is absorbed in the presence of dietary fat, not water. If you take turmeric without fat, most of the curcumin simply passes through your system unabsorbed. It's like pouring oil on a glass window. It slides right off. But when taken with fat, it binds and blends, making its way through your digestive system in a usable form. This is especially critical for those of us over 50. When our digestion becomes more selective, our enzyme production slows, and our gut lining becomes more sensitive. Our bodies are asking for nourishment that's not just present, but accessible. And healthy fat makes that possible. So what fats work best with turmeric? Extra virgin olive oil, avocado, nuts like walnuts and almonds, flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, and even fatty fish like salmon all support the absorption of curcumin while offering their own anti-inflammatory, heart-supportive, and brain-nourishing benefits. These aren't trendy ingredients. They're whole, real foods that work with the body rather than against it. If you're cooking with turmeric, add a tablespoon of olive oil near the end of cooking. If you're making a smoothie, toss in half an avocado or a spoonful of almond butter. Stir turmeric into yogurt with chia seeds. Use flaxseed oil in salad dressings with turmeric and pepper. Or make roasted vegetables with turmeric and olive oil baked until golden and aromatic. These pairings don't just support flavor, they support function. One of the most popular ways to combine turmeric and fat is through golden milk, a warming drink made by blending turmeric with non-dairy milk like almond or coconut, a pinch of black pepper, and a teaspoon of fat such as coconut oil or ghee. This drink is not just soothing, it's scientifically optimized for absorption. And when taken at night, it supports both digestion and rest, giving curcumin the overnight window to work its subtle magic. The beauty of using fat as an ally is that you're not only absorbing more turmeric, you're giving your body essential building blocks for hormone regulation, brain insulation, and joint lubrication. Fat isn't the enemy. The right kind of fat is one of your strongest defenders. Now let's bring in the final member of this trio, raw honey. Sweet, soothing, naturally antibacterial, and full of trace enzymes and antioxidants, raw honey is more than just a pleasant sweetener. It's a therapeutic food in its own right. When paired with turmeric, it helps create what some call a golden paste, a potent combination that can be taken by the spoonful, stirred into warm water, or added to teas. But here's the crucial distinction. It must be raw honey, unprocessed and unheated, preferably local if you can find it. The stuff in the squeeze bottle, shaped like a plastic bear, is not what we're talking about. That version has often been filtered, pasteurized, and stripped of its healing components. Raw honey, on the other hand, is cloudy, textured, and still contains the pollen, enzymes, and natural phenolic compounds that give it its medicinal edge. When you take turmeric with raw honey, you're not just making it more palatable. You're adding a partner that supports the immune system, calms the digestive tract, and brings additional antioxidants into your daily rhythm. For people with sore throats, seasonal allergies, or gut inflammation, the combination can be especially soothing. One simple practice is to mix turmeric with raw honey and a dash of black pepper, and take it as a spoonful when your joints ache or you're starting to feel run down. Add it to herbal teas for a gentle nightcap, or stir it into warm water with lemon first thing in the morning. The natural sweetness not only makes turmeric more enjoyable, but helps anchor it into your routine. A small daily pleasure with big daily benefits. It's worth noting that while raw honey is a natural sugar, it behaves differently in the body than refined sweeteners. It has a lower glycemic index, contains trace minerals, and doesn't trigger the same inflammatory response as processed sugars. That said, it should still be used mindfully, especially for those managing blood sugar levels. 1 teaspoon a day is typically a safe and effective dose for most people, offering sweetness without spikes. And in this case, a little goes a long way. So when you look at these 3 ingredients, black pepper, healthy fats, and raw honey, you're not just looking at flavorings or enhancements. You're looking at activators, amplifiers, the quiet teammates that give turmeric its strength and presence. And together, they create a synergy far greater than the sum of their parts. They allow your body, especially your over 50 body, to receive the full blessing turmeric was meant to give: anti-inflammatory support, improved circulation, gut healing, and neurological resilience. Without them, turmeric struggles. With them, it thrives, and so do you. The takeaway here is as simple as it is powerful. When you commit to using turmeric wisely, choose its companions with care. The goal isn't complexity, it's harmony. Let every golden spoonful carry not just hope, but effectiveness. Let your tea, your toast, your soup be crafted with intention, not just habit. Because when you feed your body with precision, when you pair your healing agents with supportive elements, you step into a level of wellness that's rooted in both tradition and science. And you begin to feel the shift, not just in your joints or your digestion, but in your energy, your mood, your sleep, your sense of vitality. That's the promise of turmeric, not as a lone warrior, but as part of a team. A team that includes black pepper to open the doors, healthy fat to carry the message, and raw honey to sweeten the journey. Gentle daily routine examples when it comes to embracing turmeric as a daily healing ally. The secret isn't in making a grand gesture, but in layering gentle, intentional habits throughout your day that invite the spice to work with your body, instead of being forgotten in a capsule or lost in a recipe. The beauty of turmeric isn't just in its anti-inflammatory power or antioxidant potential. It's in how quietly and consistently it can support you when woven into the rhythm of your routine. Especially after 50, the goal is not perfection. It's momentum. Not sudden change, but small, nurturing rituals that anchor you to health in subtle but meaningful ways. These habits aren't just nutritional decisions. They become emotional touchpoints, morning comforts, midday check-ins, evening wind-downs that all whisper the same message: you're worth the care. Let's begin with the morning. This is the hour where your body transitions from repair to action, where your digestion is still delicate, your joints are still recalibrating, and your brain is slowly lighting up from the inside. It's also a time where hydration, warmth, and gentleness have the most impact. One of the most powerful ways to start your day is with warm turmeric tea. A blend of water or almond milk warmed to a gentle steam, a half teaspoon of turmeric powder, a pinch of fresh ground black pepper, and a spoonful of raw honey stirred in just before sipping. This golden morning brew is more than a drink, it's a signal to your cells. The pepper unlocks the curcumin. The honey soothes your digestive tract. The warmth prepares your gut to receive nutrients. And the turmeric begins its quiet journey, easing inflammation, calming your immune response, and gently waking your metabolism. For those with stiff joints or slow digestion in the morning, this is a game changer. It also replaces acidic coffee habits that often disrupt cortisol levels and gut lining. And because it's easy to make in under 5 minutes, it fits seamlessly into even the busiest morning. Now let's move into midday, the time when your energy might start to wane, when blood sugar dips, and when meals are often rushed or skipped altogether. This is precisely when turmeric can play an anchoring role, not just through supplementation, but through food that satisfies, sustains, and supports healing. A turmeric-powered grain bowl is a nourishing, versatile choice that can be adapted to whatever ingredients you have on hand. Start with a base of cooked quinoa, brown rice, or millet. Add steamed or roasted vegetables like broccoli, carrots, and spinach. Drizzle a homemade dressing made from extra virgin olive oil, lemon juice, a teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of pepper, and a touch of garlic. Top it off with protein, grilled salmon, chickpeas, or a soft-boiled egg, and sprinkle seeds like hemp or sunflower for texture and additional anti-inflammatory nutrients. This bowl does more than fill you, it fuels you. The turmeric in the dressing is activated by the olive oil. The fiber from the grains and vegetables supports gut health. The fat and protein balance your blood sugar. And if you eat this meal slowly, without multitasking, it becomes not just fuel but a pause, a moment where your body receives not only nutrition but your attention. This same turmeric dressing can be used in wraps, on salads, or stirred into lentil soups to deepen their color and elevate their medicinal quality. And because it's made from whole ingredients, it avoids the acidity and sugar that can often sneak into commercial sauces. When turmeric is added to meals like these, it becomes part of a larger constellation of wellness, a golden thread that ties your daily choices to your deeper goal of strength, clarity, and resilience. You don't need to track every gram or count every calorie. You just need to make the next nourishing choice. As evening falls, your body begins its transition into rest and repair. This is the time where turmeric's calming, soothing properties shine brightest. The golden milk ritual, rooted in Ayurvedic tradition, has become a beloved evening tonic for good reason. It's more than a drink, it's a practice. Warm, unsweetened oat milk on the stove. Stir in a teaspoon of turmeric, a dash of cinnamon, a grind of black pepper, and a tiny drizzle of raw honey. Let it steep for a few minutes, then sip slowly in a quiet space, maybe with soft music, candlelight, or a book that doesn't involve a screen. This ritual signals your nervous system to unwind. The turmeric, in partnership with the fat from the oat milk and the piperine from the pepper, enters the bloodstream and begins its work, calming inflammation, relaxing your muscles, supporting the repair of tissues that have worked all day. For those who struggle with joint discomfort at night, poor sleep, or nighttime digestion issues, this practice is often the gentle key that turns off the day and invites the body into deeper rest. You might also pair this evening routine with a few minutes of stretching, simple leg movements, ankle circles, shoulder rolls, to invite circulation and help turmeric move where it's needed most. A few deep breaths, a journal entry, or gratitude meditation can amplify the effect, creating a whole-body exhale that carries you toward restorative sleep. And because golden milk feels indulgent while being deeply medicinal, it rewires your brain to associate self-care with comfort instead of restriction. These small habits, repeated daily, become the scaffolding of wellness. They don't demand intensity. They don't require special equipment or expensive ingredients. They only ask for presence, intention, and consistency. And the cumulative effect of these choices, morning tea, nourishing lunch, evening milk, can be profound. You may notice better digestion, less stiffness, clearer thinking, more stable moods. You may begin to feel not like someone trying to get younger, but like someone fully rooted in the strength and peace of your current season. Because the goal here isn't to turn back the clock. It's to move forward with grace, with wisdom, with the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you're giving your body what it truly needs to thrive, not through shortcuts, but through steady, simple devotion. Turmeric is not a quick fix. It's not flashy. It doesn't shout. But when taken with intention, supported by the right partners, and wrapped in the rhythm of daily life, it becomes something sacred. It becomes the golden thread through which healing travels, softly, surely, and steadily. So whether you're just beginning or already a few steps in, know that every small act, every cup, every bowl, every breath builds upon the last. And that momentum, not perfection, is what moves you forward. Final, turmeric is a gift from the earth, ancient, quiet, and powerful. But like any gift, its value isn't just in having it. It's in how you use it. When you understand what supports it, what invites it to thrive, and when you learn what holds it back, that's when it stops being just another trend and starts becoming what it truly is: a daily tool of healing, restoration, and strength. For those of us in the second half of life, every small choice matters more than ever. And turmeric, used wisely, can be one of those small, steady anchors that reminds your body you're still in partnership with it, still invested in feeling well, moving well, living well. If this message found its way into your heart today, if it gave you a new perspective or a fresh idea to try, then I invite you to carry it forward. Share it with someone you love who could use a little healing in their kitchen or a little peace in their day. Leave a comment below and tell me how turmeric has touched your life, or what ritual you're inspired to start. I read every word, and it means more than you know to build this space with people who care about their bodies and their stories. And if you haven't already, I warmly welcome you to subscribe to Age Defiant Health. Your support brings us closer to our first 1,000 subscribers, a milestone that unlocks even more ways for me to serve you with deeper, richer, more accessible content. Together, we can keep growing this circle of wisdom and wellness, one kind, honest video at a time. Thank you for sharing this space with me. Thank you for trusting your time, your attention, and your hope to this message. Until we meet again, be gentle with your body, patient with your process, and always curious about the simple things that bring you back to strength.